people call this place as a home, and they mean it.
So you keep on
Or
following till the time client says no, or
Yeah.
he buy.
yes, I personally feel 2014 was a hype.
And 2015, 16 is the time when the market start going for a correction phase.
For people out there who are not in the real estate field, it feels very glittery. It feels very
Easy money.
Easy money. It's not.
Do you think there will be a correction gonna come very soon?
Hate for saying this. Not everything in Dubai is getting sold out.
So what is the wise thing? To buy now and hold for next 7 to 10 years, or to buy after 5 years? Hello everyone, welcome back with one more episode with Real Estate Ibrahim. There are more than 20,000 registered real estate brokers in Dubai, but there are very few who knows the market, who I called a quality broker, who understand the market, who understand how the market dynamics are. My guest today is one of my old friend who been in the market for more than a decade, who knows the market, who understand the market. He sleep, drink, and eat real estate. Sandeep Patil, how are you, man?
I'm very flattened with this. I was not expecting this from you, especially the old friend that you're of mine, but I'm very honored to be on the show as well.
Man, I know you since 2013.
That's what I said. I was not expecting this from you, especially this, with so many of adjectives. But yeah, it's been quite long in the market. So
It's been like more than 12 years.
yes, more than that, 13th ongoing.
And the start of your journey in Dubai real estate market was with a developer.
Yes, it was.
And now you are own a company that's closing one of the highest deal in the market. How's the journey went through?
Journey was it was very I would say of a learning experience, because from where I came, the real estate market back in India, it's completely different than what we are doing in Dubai. And that in the initial stage, that was very new for me, because I remember when I came to Dubai, and we were in the same team, and I saw people like you closing on the phone, book 4 units, book 5 units. I was like, what's this happening? How you when people are buying on the phone? But yeah, that was the Dubai market, and it was very learning experience throughout. I worked with the developer for 2 years. I'm ex the Mac, by the way. So it's I'm very proud to say that as well,
So
because
all the learning comes from there. Initial learning.
Indeed. The one of the it was one of the toughest part of my career as well, because a lot of ups and downs, and that's how you learn. So thanks to the Mac for giving all those learnings and all. And after that, I joined a brokerage company, worked with friends, like usual how people work in Dubai real estate. And then since last couple of years, I'm having my own real estate company, and touch wood, with God's grace, doing well.
Wonderful. And as you mentioned, when you joined a developer called the Mac, you are amazed to see the people are closing over on the phone, bulk units, multiple units. And by the way, Dubai is one of the only place, if I say it, where people buy buildings, buy floors. It doesn't happen in any other part of the real estate in the world.
That's correct.
Right? What was your feeling, and what's your learning, and what's your take on that when you saw that, and how you cope up with the kind of business what Dubai is doing?
See, the first impression was, how is this even possible that people are buying? But then when I myself started experiencing that firsthand, then I realized, okay, this is how the city is developing. Because if I can tell, my first transaction and first deal in the Mac, that happened over the phone as well. So I was calling this number. It was not reachable. It was all switched off.
And this client of yours is based in UAE, or he's
No,
out?
he was from Saudi.
Okay.
So it was going always switched off. And then one fine day, I just picked up the phone and dialed him, and it was ringing. So I was like, okay, see, this is Sandeep here calling from the bank. And I say, okay, I'm coming tomorrow, and let's meet at 1 o'clock. I was like, that was the very first time someone said, okay, I'm coming tomorrow, and let's meet. So I was like, okay, let's see what happens. And he came exactly on the time. I remember my manager was Samir Haddad. Samir, if you are listening to this, thank you so much for that deal. So he was Arabic, the client was Arabic, and I was sitting in the middle. The client was this side, the Samir was sitting on this side, and they were talking. I had no idea what they're talking. And then eventually, when the meeting ended, Samir told me, okay, he booked 3 units. So I was like, okay, this is happening. And then, because the demand was there, the avenues were there. People are not buying just because there are people who are marketing the units. They see value in the product. They see value in the city. They see value in the government, and that's the reason people are buying, because there are plenty of avenues across the globe where people can still invest and make money. Why out of the world every other millionaire is trying to be in Dubai and trying to have the base in Dubai? There has to be some reason, and the reason is it is, you can see it with your naked eyes. People have trust in Dubai. People call this place as a home, and they mean it when they see the infrastructure, when they see the facilities, when they see small little things that government does for them. It makes a lot of difference. Like the yesterday's news, the Sharjah's ruler has announced 10,000 dirhams for every divorcee, every widower,
Yep.
every person of determination. Now that speaks volume, and that's the reason. When I look back and see the people who are doing multiple transactions, this is the reason. There is a value in this.
But from your first deal that you did with Summer,
Yeah,
the learning which I take, it's not the Arabic language, but the kind of amount of follow-up that you have done from
Yeah.
a dead lead, you made them alive.
Yeah.
It's just because of the follow-up.
yeah. That's the most important part. Lot of brokers, I would say, they miss on, because in our sales thing, it's the fifth call that starts counting. Most of the people, they drop out by fourth follow up, I would
So
say.
for all the new people who are joining real estate, either the developer or the brokerage,
Yeah.
how much follow-up is more? How much follow-up is important?
Till the time you close,
So you keep on
or
following till the time client says no, or either
yeah,
he buy.
yes, that's how it should be.
There is no third way of doing
No,
it.
I don't think so. Because at the end of the day, see, I personally had a lot of experiences firsthand, wherein the kind of follow up I did, the person that I was following up with, he did not buy, but he referred someone, and that person eventually purchased. And the reason that he referred is, okay, I'm not in a position to buy right now, but yes, I can see your follow up, I can see the consistency, and then I'm referring you to someone. There are people who are very solid on the follow-ups, and that's how you end up closing transactions.
But with the follow-up, let's say you follow a client on daily basis,
Yeah.
either he saw your phone ringing or it's turn off, or you send the WhatsApp messages. But the day he answered the phone,
Yeah,
the day he speak to you,
yeah.
how much your communication skills and knowledge come into the way?
I would say 110% is the knowledge, because he is answering your phone, and you better do it right. Because if he answers your phone and you are talking some rubbish, giving him some information
You're losing the
random,
opportunity.
yeah, you lost it there itself. That lead is not gonna answer your phone again.
So you need to know your market, you need to know
Absolutely.
your product, even your broker or the developer guy.
Be whoever you are, knowledge is very, very, very important. Because if you have half of the knowledge, then probably, you said it in the introduction, there are 20,000, actually there are more brokers registered in the market. So why someone should go with you? There are other people who are doing it the same thing. You should give more value to your client. Not product knowledge, okay, yes, everyone has product knowledge, because you get the fact sheets from the developers, you do your research, but what is that extra that you're giving it to your client? That counts. And I think that is more important when you are doing a transaction or talking to a client. The additional information that you give, that is what, where it's a deal breaker, I would say.
Now, let's start with the journey. You worked for the mark for almost 3 years.
2 years roughly, yeah.
Roughly 2 years.
Yeah.
What was your learning? Because a lot of people nowadays who come from different part of the world,
Yeah.
or they want to come to the real estate,
Yeah.
but sometimes they're afraid to join as a broker,
Yeah.
just to understand the market, to play safer, and they join the developer. Now developers and 2012 developers, 13 developers are entirely different.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
market is entirely different. The way that the developer agents play the game, the dynamics has
Yes.
become different.
Yes.
What's your experience say what they need to do,
Hmm.
right, so they can sustain and grow in the market, in today's market?
So you're asking what someone who is joining the developer should do, or
What
or both?
Let's start with developer. If somebody joining a developer,
Okay.
because they want to play safe, because brokerage is most
Yes.
like on a commission basis.
Correct.
I'll go
Yeah.
in detail on that one because you have expertise on that. But let's talk with the developer. Somebody want to join with a developer today. What do's they have to do and what don'ts they have to do. It's based on your experience, whatever you have for amount of 2.5 years.
See, what I can tell you from my experiences, a developer guy should do is, I have seen it a lot of times because a broker brings you a client. Now, he's a broker, he has an access to all the developers, right? So probably before bringing the client to you, he might have taken this same client to some other developer, or he is planning to take him to some other developer. And I have seen it, and a couple of times I have, lost the transactions as well because of that. The developers guys generally do the, I would say, disselling of the other developers. Like,
So they badmouth the other
bad
developer.
mouth
They
the
bring
other
the
developer.
negativity for the.
Yeah, because they want to say, okay, my developer,
I'm the
sure,
best.
yeah, I'm the best. That is, I have seen it with a lot of developers. There's nothing wrong in that, but you can put it very subtly. Like for example, if I'm talking about one particular developer in that, let's say in a particular location, if you are the best, you say, okay, my quality is much better than the other ones which has a presence in the same location. You cannot say, okay, they are the worst, I'm the best. So sometimes what happens is a broker, like let's say if I'm bringing a client to Dubai Island, then I'm showing him AYS, I'm showing him Nakil, I'm showing him Ellington, I'm showing him Imtiaz as well. So as a broker, I'm giving him all the options on the platter because for me, I have to give him the options.
True.
But when I bring it to you, if you say that, okay, don't go with this is the worst, and sometimes the developers guys go overboard and say, okay, you know about this, you know about that. I mean, come on, it's not your thing to talk about talk something bad about the other guy. Okay, as a broker, yes, we make sure that, okay, we tell everything in upfront to the client. Okay, this developer is this developer is that, this developer is that. You can tell what best you have. Maybe I know I might get some flack about this from the developers guys, but sometimes,
But that's the reality.
yeah,
Yes.
there are developer sales guys, they go overboard and say, okay, this is something worse that you are talking about a particular developer, and the client says, okay, but you were saying something else.
But this had happened before or is going currently now in the market?
I think this had happened before. Currently, the kind of workload the developers guys have, I don't think so. The good ones, they don't even have time to talk about this. All they are doing is, okay,
But
give me the check.
as a developer, the management should take an initiative, and this can be done through training and programs and all.
See, I don't think so. From a developer's perspective, you might be able to tell it in a better way. But at the end of the day, everyone wants to do the transaction. Everyone wants to get the numbers. But when you are looking at a particular situation, okay, some guys do it. Not everyone does it because people who have confidence in their product, they won't do bad mouthing about the others. They would say, okay, this is what we are offering, and these are the things we are best in compared to the one, two, three people. Now it's on your call. But as a developer's management, you can do a little bit of. I mean, this is a very new term. I would say I haven't heard ethical training is being practiced somewhere.
But should be.
It should be, but again, the scale that we are into, I don't think so. It is, it is like immediately feasible. Yes, you can take steps to do it, but if it is done, then nothing like it. Because especially in the market we are, being ethical is very rare to find. I hope you understand what I'm talking about.
Understand. Now, going back,
Yeah.
you worked there for 2.5 years. Then you decided that you want to leave a developer and want to join a brokerage.
Yeah.
A big step.
Yes.
Because in developers, usually we guys get salary
Yeah.
plus a little commission based on our target performance and all. And then you jump to something which have no salary, no backup.
Yeah.
It's you are on your own. You get the leads, you close, you make money.
Yeah.
Why and how this happened?
Okay, that's a big story. I see, I'm a firm believer of everything happens for a good reason. So if I think about that step now, I think, okay, it happened for good. But back then, I really regretted doing that. The reason was that I followed one of my very good friend, our friend, when he started the company. I said, okay. And he said, okay, come in, let's do it. And I said, okay, let's do it. But then the initial, because when you are into developer setup, you're getting leads.
True.
You're getting, you're getting a
The
lot
agents
of
are there, support
agents
is
are there,
there.
mall activities you're doing. You're getting something or the other that you can, keep on doing. You have a proper setup. You have a lot of products coming in. You get a lot of training on that. And on the contrary, when you get into the brokerage, is that okay? Now the entire market is open for you. There is a hell lot of competition, and then there is this thing of there's always this thing at the back of your mind. Okay, if I don't close, I won't be able to pay my bills next month. So sometimes if you are hard nut, then probably you can take that. I was not. I was not that hard nut. That time
The
back
pressure
in
hits you.
yeah back in 2015, it was new. I was like 25. So for me, it was very new. I had an I don't know if I should tell you this or not, but there was a time when I had only 200 dirhams in my account, and there was no transactions.
And 2015-16 is the time when the market started going for a correction phase.
Exactly. So the learning from that is never give up. Because I come from a family where we have a very well-to-do family. So my parents were like, "Oh, come back. There's no need to do this thing when you're
Why to
struggling."
suffer when
Yeah, why
everything
you
is good
want?
at back
Because
home?
Indian parents, they're like, "Okay, you don't have to do this. Come back, we'll do whatever we have." And then, but then that's what you are. You stick around, and then you do the practice. You do the step. It's a process. At the end of the day, real estate is a process. It's like 1 plus 1 is 2. You do the process, you will get the results, and that's what you have to do. You keep on doing. Okay, start calling, keep following up, offer the product, offer the knowledge, offer the service, you get the
And
transaction.
when you closed the first deal as a brokerage, how much? What was the time frame for that?
7 months.
So 7 months you were into survival mode.
Yes.
Very badly survival mode.
Very tough one. So that's
So what was your feeling that time when you closed the deal?
So see, the feeling was because I was actually living on borrowed money, to be honest with you. So the feeling was like, okay, now you can do it. Now what you have done, you just have to repeat it. And then one thing led to another, and then you start doing. You get the confidence once you do the first transaction. You get the confidence. Okay, now you can do it, and then you start doing it again. There will be ups and downs, especially the brokerage thing. Not everyone say that okay, you have to be very consistent, in doing transactions. So you should close in first month, you should close in second month, you should close in third month, and then your commission cycles, they continue. But that's not true. It's a myth. Hardly few people can do it. I'm sure out of 100% brokers out there, probably 20% are making money in this market.
So let's go with the same old 80-20 rules.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
20% of the people actually make millions.
Yeah.
80% on survival stage.
Yeah.
Even today.
Even today, for people out there who are not in the real estate field, it feels very glittery. It feels very
Easy money.
Easy money. It's not. It's not. Still, you have to slog yourself every day in and out, and then you can make.
Because the client that you will get from the leads, he definitely is speaking to another 10, 15 brokers more.
Yeah, fair enough.
And
that
then
is fair.
they start to qualify you, how good you are to
Exactly.
offer them something.
Exactly. I'll tell you what happened last month. So I'm doing a lot of YouTube videos these days, and touch wood, I'm getting a lot of inquiries from the YouTube as well. So there were, and it happened like 3 times straight in a row, and that made me thinking, is it a good thing or a bad thing? So the guy called me and he said, okay, I'm looking for this. How is this project? So he gave me a couple of options. I said, okay, this is this plus minus whatever I had to tell him. I told him, and then he said, okay, how about this project? I said, okay. I gave him the answer. Okay, this is good. Okay. And they said, okay, thank you so much. I said, when you want to, have a meeting so that we can take it forward. He said, no, I actually bought it. I just wanted to
Double confirm.
Yes, from you.
Oh.
I was like, okay. I said, congratulate. I can't say anything to
Nothing,
him.
yeah.
But then, and it happened couple of times in last 1 month. So the point is, if someone is putting a million, or let's say 2 million, because in today's market, there's nothing affordable at 1 million. Nothing is available for 1 million. So if someone is putting 2 million dirhams from their pocket, they have all the rights to do it. It's just that, okay, then what information or what additional thing that you give, that will count. Okay, then if you are adding value to the on the table, then obviously it will come to you. But there are people who are just doing this.
But there's a good side is you also get leads from your social media
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah, yes,
which you end
yes.
up closing business.
Yes.
So always be plus and minus with
Yeah,
everything.
everything has two sides. So
So again, going back, so you did a developer job, then you went to a brokerage, and then you end up starting your own company. There's
Yeah.
a third transformation happened.
yeah.
Why? Why there's a need for that?
So see, in how do I put it? You need to scale up at a point of time. Like for example, if I'm working for someone, then eventually you are at a stage. Okay, then you are financially stable. Then you can take the jump. Okay, now I can. Okay, I have this financial stability is there. Now I can experiment. Now I can risk it a bit more, where I can do a lot of things on my own. When you are in control 100%, then you can experiment a lot. You can do a lot of things which you really want to do, especially when it comes to the business. When you are working with someone, obviously, the owners in the Dubai real estate market are very, open to discussions, very open-minded. But sometimes, okay, there is one particular thing that you want to do, but then, because you're working with someone, it might not happen. So I personally decided to do this because I wanted to scale it up. I wanted to, okay, start something on your own where you can do things as you want, and the market was good as well. So it was a leap of faith I took, and
And a blessing from the market.
yes, it is.
So you've seen three different transactions in Dubai real estate since 2012 and 25. A lot of ups and downs happened,
Yeah,
right? Do you think we are doing something very much similar what we have done as a market? Because there was, before you came to Dubai, the market was coming up from the crash.
yeah,
It went up high, 15, 16, 17 was a period of correction.
Yeah.
Then the market started picking up, and then the COVID hit. Now
Yeah.
the market is touching high, breaking all the records.
yeah.
What do you think? What's the end of that?
See, in terms of market, I personally feel 2014 was a hype. There was no logical reason for,
The hype because Dubai won Expo?
Yes, I personally feel that there was, and you see, immediately after that, it started coming down because I remember Expo was to happen in 2020, right? It was supposed to happen in Dubai South. Property prices to the opposite end of that location, and the landlords were asking crazy things. Imagine a landlord increasing rent just because Expo is coming up 6 years later. There was no logical reasoning for that. But and now, since that, the thing you asked, what changed, what we have changed, or how we are doing as a market, is that thing. Now people are looking at the legitimacy of the proposals. People are looking that, okay, what's happening on the ground. Like, if I have to take an example of Dubai South, last year, in the early last year, 20 Jan or first quarter, there was no movement in Dubai South. It was not that crazy, which the market is, which is crazy the way it is now. Dubai, after the announcement, when the work has started, there is a timeline. Okay, everyone knew that, okay, Al Maktoum is going to be the world's largest airport. Back then, remember, the MAC had a project
In Dubai
next
South?
Dubai South, Tenora. So people,
There's one more, Tenora, and there's one more, Celestia.
Celestia, yeah. So people, the developers had a vision of that. Everyone knew that, okay, this is going to be a place where everything is going to be centered around, but nobody had a timeline. Now it has a timeline. So things are moving in a better direction, I would say. People are looking at, okay, what kind of infrastructure is happening there. And now, and Dubai government has done a tremendous job, making the or fulfilling the expectations of people. If people go to Dubai South, the infrastructure is already there. They don't have to worry about, okay, where the road is going to come, where is the connectivity that I'm looking at. It's already there. So they have done a very rapid change in the strategy, the bringing up the a committee which controls the supply in the market. That's very unique. And I think nowhere in the world people have that.
But on this, the amount of launches which is happening,
Yeah,
right, which has happened for the last 2 years,
yeah,
definitely next coming years, a lot of supply will come in the market.
yeah,
On top of it, the prices are picking up on the monthly basis.
yeah,
Dubai market, as per my understanding, is always like a up and down, like a heartbeat.
yeah.
Do you think there will be a correction gonna come very soon?
I won't say correction. See, in my personal opinion, correction is required, because why I say that is you cannot go always upwards.
I
There,
agree, but the correction is required. But people in Dubai, because the majority of expats lives over here,
yeah,
people take it in a very negative sense.
okay,
Because being in a realtor, we understand correction is required for certain areas, certain
yes.
things. But people take it, oh, the market is going down.
I remember there was one post on the social media last month. Okay, the prices went, or the transactions went down by 9%, and everyone was talking about, okay, the market is going to crash and this and that. It's not that easy for, even if correction happens. Let's take an example. Let's take an example of Dubai Hills Estates. Okay, pre-COVID, the three-bedroom townhouse was selling for how much? 1.92 million. During COVID, it started picking up. Now a three-bedroom townhouse is going for 4.5 million dirhams. So we're looking at what, 100%? Correction is what? 10-15% drop from the price. So it won't impact that much to the market, even if the correction comes. Now here it becomes very important where you are putting your money. Like, I might get a lot of hate for saying this. Not everything in Dubai is getting sold out. I can be very honest on
Agree
this.
on that.
Not everything is getting sold out. It becomes very important where you're putting your money and what product you're putting your money. Buying something just out of, how do I put it? Just because you have to in the middle of nowhere won't make any difference to your portfolio. It will take you to negatives, because there are developers who are selling in a community for 1200 dirhams per square feet, and there is one particular building little away from that community. Again, I don't want to take the names, but they're selling at 1500 dirhams per
So
square
why
feet.
there is a difference in the price?
They're giving you something in return guaranteed.
So they're adding on the price.
Of course.
So let's say I'm a buyer, I want to invest in Dubai.
Yeah.
What should I look into it? Because now a lot of offers are there, a lot of new developers came in the
Yeah.
market, a lot of new locations are there.
Mhm.
Where should I invest where if a correction comes, I wouldn't face a loss?
So, two things. One is you should look for a location which will have a sustainable demand in the future as well. Now, why it would have a demand in the future as well? Because there should be scarcity of it. So let's say, and what is scarcity in Dubai's real estate? Waterfront. So if you have something waterfront, it will not go into negatives.
Can you specify the locations?
Let's say Dubai Island is coming up big time. Then Maritime City. The prices are increasing, and there is no reason why we should complain about it. Prices are increasing because there is scarcity of that. You cannot make new beaches. It's very costly, right? So something of that sort. Second is where I always keep telling in my YouTube videos that, okay, if you don't want to risk it, or if you don't want to take the stress of finding where should I invest, look for where the government is government is investing, and that is the ideal. For example, Dubai South. Again, Dubai South is a long term, but there will be sustainable demand in the future. Dubai Silicon Oasis is good
Because of the metro.
because of the metro connectivity. The government is putting a lot of money in Dubai Silicon Oasis. They have Dubai Silicon Oasis as a part of Vision 2040. A lot of companies. it's the name itself talks, Silicon Oasis. So it has to be there. More and more IT related companies are coming up, semiconductor related companies are coming up. They're setting up base in that area. It is very close to the airport, existing airport, so you get very good connectivity. The future potential is there. So as an investor, you should look for areas which would have a sustainable demand in the future. It should have something unique. Let's say today people say, okay, Dubai South is very far, but look at Dubai South location from a vision of 7 to 10 years, not before that. Because we are sitting in 2025. Emirates said that, okay, by 2034, we will have the 100% operations from Al Maktoum International Airport. Now, when they say 2034, they won't start in 2033. And we are in Dubai. So we know when they say 2034, they will do it in 2034.
True.
So they will start a couple of years earlier, right? So 5 years, 6 years down the line, the demand in Dubai South will start picking up. So if you are buying something in Dubai South today, looking at, okay, I should flip it next year, probably not a wise thing to do.
So what is the wise thing, to buy now and hold for next 7 to 10 years, or to buy after 5 years when markets start picking up over there for a big time?
Now here you need to consider supply as well. So for example, okay, you are looking to buy something in Dubai South. There are a couple of communities. Imar South is one of them. Azizi Venice is the second. And now Bahria Township is coming up.
Dubai South, they have their own development.
And Dubai South.
Mag, they have it.
Mag, but we're talking about bigger communities, let's say. So in that case, now developers are also wise. They want to, like for example, if I talk about Imar, they increase pricing with each new launch with 3%, 3 to 4% pricing. Now by 2029 or 2030, probably they would have launched maybe another 20, 30 buildings. So with average 3% increase, we're looking at around 70% of the price increase. So if you want to buy, this is the time, because
eventually the prices will keep on increasing by the developer itself.
Exactly. So they say very good thing about Dubai real estate. The best thing to buy a real estate was yesterday. And that's very true in Dubai, because especially if you're buying in a community. I'm not talking about standalone developers, because standalone developers, it's complete game altogether, because then everyone wants to compete with each other.
True.
Like for example, if I have to take an example, it's good in a way and it's bad in other way as well. Let's say if I have to take an example of Jumeirah Village Circle, now there are hundreds of developers in one particular location. If you want to be in Jumeirah Village Circle as an end user, there's no other place like it, because you have so many parks, so many facilities right next to you. But as an investor, there is an empty plot next to you. He's going to come up with something more. He would offer something more than what you're offering, and probably at a lesser price. That is the difference between a community with independent developers.
So you mean to resale chances to getting appreciation on the community like a standalone, the basic one will be a lesser compared to a master development.
Yes, exactly. So when you buy in a community which is controlled by one particular developer, then the developer itself makes sure that increase the price, so the investors make money.
But don't you think nowadays, as you mentioned on the Dubai South area where Al Maktoum International is coming up big time, there are a lot of communities are coming, namely MR South is there, Venice Bazizi is there, and then Bahria Town is coming. Do you think they have the competition between them as a community versus communities there?
There would be competition eventually, but at the end of the day, if you are an investor, then you need to balance your pros and cons. Because if you ask me, it's always, especially in the Dubai's real estate market, we always advise our clients, okay, if you want to take more risk, okay, then go with the a new developer, because more risk gets you more rewards as well. If that comes out positive in your favor. But if you want to take lesser risk, go with the trusted names. So there will be competition. There is a huge supply coming up in Dubai South. There will be demand as well. But at the end of the day, it depends on what you're getting for the value that you are giving, or what for the price that you are paying. So there will be competition. There's no doubt about it.
But don't you think now with the new development of Bahari, as you mentioned it, I don't want to promote them though, but the kind of prices they have just announced, it will take the market out? The other developer going to face a good competition over there because they are the Asia largest developer.
See, my view on this would be they are very competitive in the pricing. The prices are really good, but at the same time, there will be always this thing. Okay, we don't know. For
People have seen what they have done in different
so,
part of the world.
I was coming to that. So, Bahria Town is the biggest developer in Pakistan, right? So, people who have seen their work, for them, it would be a definite go. And I myself have a lot of inquiries for that, especially from my clientele from Pakistan. So they have a lot of inquiries for this, and they would probably buy, right? But for the rest of the people who are in Dubai, there would be this thing always. Okay, we haven't seen
But
the
Dubai,
work of
but
this.
Dubai sometimes work on the hype. If the hype is there, everybody talk in the town is just to buy there, and just this is a better investment. People sometimes move towards that, even though they doesn't know their due
Not everyone.
diligence.
There would be, see, there are different categories, I would say. One is someone who know the developer. They would definitely go and buy that. Then there would be, I would call them as a fence sitters. They're okay if if they get to know from their friends or they get to know from social media, they would buy. And then there would be a third group of people who would say, okay, let me see what they have done. Let me see the quality. Because if you remember, it's very classic example. When Shobha launched Heartland 1, the first few buildings, the response that they were supposed to get, they couldn't get that. It was very difficult in the beginning. But the moment they delivered the first product and people saw the quality of Shobha, now you can ask any broker or anyone who deals in Dubai real estate and ask them who is the best, who gives the best quality in Dubai, they will tell you Shobha. So it takes at least a couple of years or see the product for a large group of investors to believe in you. And that's how Emaar is the classic example. Why people buy Emaar like blindly? Because they have made money over the decades with Emaar. So the trust is very important factor in Dubai, for that matter, any real estate transaction. And that's why I have named my company, which starts with trust.
What's the name of your company? Just tell to my audience, man.
So it's called Tishak Properties.
And how you come up
So
with the name?
so the T is basically trust. So every letter stands for something.
Okay.
So T is trust. I is for integrity. S is for security. H is for honesty. A is attention. And K is knowledge.
This is what client need from the broker.
Yes, exactly. So that's how we built this, and that's more important because the transactions may come and go. What stays behind is your name.
True, true, true. And the overall that what we have discussed is like there are fewer community, upcoming community, which is Dubai Island.
Dubai Island.
And then the future goes in Dubai South.
Yes.
If let's say I have a 2 million dirhams today,
Yeah.
where should I go?
So if you have a short-term vision, or let's say you have a short-term plan, 3 to 5 years, don't go to Dubai South. That's not the place where you want to be in for next three years. Let's say 3 to 4 years. If you want to be long-term, you can wait, sit on your investment for 7 years, 10 years, then close your eyes and buy in Dubai South. That's the future. For a shorter period of time, you have, again, it depends on your requirement. Let's say you are an end user. JVC is the place wherein you have a lot of things. Connectivity is better. Metro is coming up in the future as well. Parks are there. Road infrastructure is going very well in JVC. For an end user, investors, okay, then probably you can go to Town Square by Nashama. It's very good option to consider. It's a proper community, and probably one of the area where you still can have affordable homes in Dubai. You can get a 2 bedroom there for roughly around 1.5 million under construction, ready around to 1.2, 1.3 million dirhams. It's a family oriented community, so you can, even if you're looking from the investment point of view, rental yields are good. Apart from that, if you're looking for townhouses, have very limited options. I think one, not even MR South is 2 million now. It is more than 2.2, 2.3 million dirhams for a 3 bedroom townhouse. So you have only one options for a townhouse, that is the Mackles 2. And apartments, then probably you can also look at some areas where you have a very good connectivity, like metro access is there. Al Furjan is doing really good, wherein you have
Metro
a metro
connectivity.
existing metro connectivity that you can consider. There are a couple of projects. Shoba Orbis is also one of the projects where you have a future proposed metro connectivity. And again, the one area to watch out for is Dubai Creek Harbor, because as to if you remember, there was announcement by Emaar that they are redesigning Dubai Creek Tower, and it's going to be something similar to Burj Khalifa. That means it will have the residential, commercial, and other things like Burj Khalifa has. And they said that they're gonna do the announcement this year. Maybe they will do it in first half or the second half of the year. But the moment that happens, the prices in Dubai Creek Harbor will go skyrocketing, because world wants something new to be in Dubai. And I'm sure the way developments are happening across the world, there Saudi is building tallest than
They are hoping, they are trying, yeah.
yeah. So they haven't disclosed. Imar hasn't disclosed the height of the tower, that what's gonna be, but I'm sure that's gonna be something bigger as well.
Done. That's great. Well, the time don't permit me to go in detail, but I would love to see you again
It
to
was
go with detail with every community, because there are a lot of questions I can ask you about the investment and the ROI and the rentals and the appreciation and stuff and all. But thank you so much for coming today. It's a really a nice talk to know about your journey, to know about how Dubai is going through, where to invest, when to invest. So
it was
it's
pleasure. It was pleasure talking to you, and it was pleasure talking to old friend as well after so long. I know
indeed
you being in the developers, it's a little hectic for you guys, but it was pleasure again talking to you.
same here, man.
Thank you so
And thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you.